Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Sunday, October the 18th. Race number 5 at Woodbine. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 1 Northern Dancer Turf Stakes. We're going 1.5 miles. It's one full circuit around the spacious E.P. Taylor Turf Course at Woodbine. You can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page, DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. Mike, really the key to this race, in my opinion, is can Admiralty Pier, the expected pace setter, last this distance?
It's definitely one of the keys of the race. He's certainly in good enough form to win this race, it seems like, but the distance has to be a real question, even if he does get loose on the lead.
He has kept good company. As we take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, he should make the lead in here. It's all a question of how fast he wants to go, and how far he wants to go is probably more important. That is a huge, huge question mark. I think the pace will be fair in this race, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see how fast they go. I don't know. I do feel like he's going to make the lead in this race, Dan, and we'll see how comfortable he gets. Again, he's talented enough to beat this field. I really do wonder if he wants to go this far.
We have several horses exiting the Grade 3 Singspiel Stakes at 1.25 miles. The number 1 Chicklet, Say the Word, is a mid-pack runner. I really liked his win at Saratoga 2 starts back, where he worked out a nice inside-out closer's trip to get up. And I liked him in the Singspiel last time out, and he worked out a similar trip. And you know something? I think that's the best Say the Word can run. I think he ran his race last time out in the Singspiel. I'm not sure how much improvement is left. It's a good performance, and it could get another piece.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. He is another one, though, where the 1.5 miles is certainly a question mark. He ran fine last time. And he did run fine when he pulled off that big upset at Saratoga. But that was a day where not only did he get a great ride from Junior Alvarado, but he had a very strong pace in front of him as well. And it feels like he's going to need that if he's going to be effective in this race.
One of the big long shots in this race is the 2 Piece of Acadi. I don't think the distance is bad for this horse. It's just he might be class compromised. Let's watch his last race. He's eligible for a non-winners of 2 life. This is a race on the Tapeta surface. He has the lead in mid-stretch, and as has been sort of the habit throughout his career, he hasn't been able to seal the deal. He finishes second for the 6th time in 16 lifetime starts. Maybe he can get close to the pace.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to get close to the pace in here. He's never run a race, though, that's going to beat this field, Dan. He's run okay at 1.5 miles a couple of times in the past, but just not fast enough to win this race.
I wish the 3 Sir Sahib had more of a winning profile. 20 lifetime starts, only 2 wins, lots of seconds and thirds, because I think you can make an excuse for him. Last time out in the Singspiel, he was splitting horses in mid-stretch. He got stuck in behind and had to steady a little bit, and he was running on at the end.
He was. He ran well last time. He ran well in his start prior to that. Both those races at 10 furlongs. It just feels like he's coming into this race in really good form, Dan. He is one of those horses who wants to sit off of it a little bit and then make a run. And when you do that, you need a clean trip, and he did not get a clean trip last time.
Jungle Fighter, the number 4. My concern here is he hasn't come back as good at 4 as he was at 3. He was a pretty promising 3-year-old on both the synthetic and the turf. It just hasn't been there this year. Now, maybe he's racing himself back into shape. This is going to be his 4th start of the form cycle, and he was chasing a somewhat moderate pace from the outside last time, but he's going to have to do better than the Singspiel.
Yeah, he just finished last in the Singspiel last time behind, I think, 5 of these horses. So he's certainly got something to find here. You're right. He was a pretty promising 3-year-old, but we haven't seen any improvement at all so far this year.
I'm kind of done with Nakamura, which means he probably wins Sunday's Race of the Day. I've been chasing him for a long time now. I just couldn't find the excuse in the Singspiel. He was tracking the pace in the second flight 3 wide. He had a big look at that thing at the quarter pole, and he just couldn't finish with the top 3 horses.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I haven't liked this horse as much as you have, but he's one of the horses I want to use out of the Singspiel last time. It's just one of those. First of all, I thought it was very surprising that he was that close to the pace, because that's not how they tend to ride this horse, but he was right up close most of the way. And he was also 3 or 4 wide all the way around the track, never got any cover. Never, got any kind of a breather in the race, and he was still there down to the end. I wasn't that surprised that he got tired at the end of the race, and I actually feel like he ran a lot better than it looks on paper.
Well, it's a good point. And if Admiralty Pier goes to the lead and kind of is hard to settle in the early portion, the pace should be fast. Maybe Nakamura will get the cover and he'll get the ride that he usually gets. It's just that every time we see him, doesn't he make like this big mid-race move at Saratoga? Right. Maybe he's a hard horse to ride. I'm beginning to think that. Woodbridge is the number 6. He's your cheek piece wearer in this race. And he pulled off a huge upset 2 starts back. Just a giant price. And he was so gritty in that race. He looked done with about 70 yards to go, and he refused to lose. And look who he beat. The horses that came back to run 1-2 in the Singspiel. Yeah. He ran fine in the Singspiel, maybe not as well as the race before, but he's got a puncher's chance.
He does. It's interesting because when we talked about that Singspiel, we had those 3 horses coming out of that allowance race, and I just didn't believe in any of those horses at all. And as it turns out, they were the ones who filled it basically in the Singspiel the next time. It just feels like all of those horses, for whatever reason, they're all in really good form right now. And I think they're all players right back in here.
You just get the feeling that Barb Minchell, who's an excellent trainer, is taking a shot here with the 7 Admiralty Pier, likely figuring, I got the lone speed. I have a Son of English Channel out of a Kitten's Joy mare. On the face of it, I'm bred to go a distance of ground on the turf. And I've been facing some really good horses in the Woodbine Mile and in the King Eddie, March to the Arches, the War of Wills, the Starship Jubilees. Again, it's all about whether he can get to the lead. I wonder if Minchell's taking the blinkers off to try to get this horse to settle.
Yeah, she probably is. It's just, even more interesting than him, trying 1.5 miles in this race is just the fact that they haven't tried to stretch him out before. As you mentioned, he's got plenty of pedigree to try longer distances, but they've been very reluctant to do so. They'll do it now. And listen, I can't argue too much with it, Dan. I know he's 5 years old now, but he is in good form right now. Plenty good enough to beat a field like this one if he gets the 1.5 miles. I'm a little, I'm a little dubious. I don't know if I feel like he's really going to get this far, but if he does, he's going to be tough.
Let's watch the Singspiel. We've been teasing you long enough. Count Again was the winner of this race, and he has all the upside potential. You see Count Again on the far outside in the white cap. That's Nakamura in the red blinkers. He has the lead. You're going to see Sir Sahib. I believe he's in the black silks. He's going to get pinched right now in between horses and loses his momentum in the cheek pieces. We see in between horses. Furious finish, but Count Again finished it off pretty professionally, Mike. I think this horse is improving.
Yeah, I do too. I appreciate the fact that he's lightly raced. I appreciate the fact that since they've gone longer with him in his last 2, it feels like he's really taken steps forward. And I would also just say, when you go back and watch the full replay of that Singspiel, we already talked about how Sir Sahib got, stopped a little bit there in the stretch. But this horse, Count Again, before all that happened, he got shuffled way back out of contention around the second turn. I mean, he was right up close all the way out to the back, and then he came around again. And he closed it down. And you know what, Dan? He closed it down pretty easily. I just think this horse is in good form right now. And I think he's going to get the distance.
Let's take a look at our top picks. You've kind of hinted who you like. It is Count Again, lightly raced, tons of upside. I'm not way against him at all. He's my second pick, and I'd have to use him. I'm just fascinated by Admiralty Pier. I hope the morning line is right. Something tells me it might not be because this is kind of a name horse. But Admiralty Pier at 9-2, loose on the lead with this pedigree. Maybe he gets the 1.5 miles. I take the 9-2. You're going 8-5, 3-1.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid of Admiralty Pier, but I left him out, and we'll see if he gets the distance. I'm stuck with the morning line favorite, Dan. I just like his form. I almost put Nakamura on top just to annoy you a little bit, but I put him second. I'll use him as well.
Something tells me that right after the Northern Dancer, I'm going to be annoyed no matter what. 7-8-3-1 for me, 8-5-3-1 for Mike. Approximate post time for the Northern Dancer, and perhaps my annoyance, 3:29 Eastern on Sunday. Best of luck.